This is Tina with Overall Adventures. Thank you for joining me. This is my college journal collection. They smell good. These are really personal. I realize that as the journals get closer to my current one, I don't have the excuse anymore of like, oh, I'm so young and awkward in high school. No, I'm pretty much just like this all the time. You'll see some interesting things in here. This journal is really more of a scrapbook art journal. It's just a lot of like birthday cards and letters with like a couple of entries strewn in between. It was really hard for me to journal, because of so much homework I had, but also just because it was a big life transition. I had a really good friend who was in the army, so we wrote letters back and forth to one another. It's just a lot of different letters. My class schedule, like, it's really sweet for me to look back on. And like most of it isn't even full. So like most of this journal, as you can see, is empty, but the other half is just full of good, happy times, happy stuff. And then at the time I was still doing my goal list in the back. Be free! So yeah. How many goals? Oh my god, I have 58 goals. The last one is figure out what you want, ... eventually. Walk more. Wander. Be free. Enjoy your car, write poetry. There was always fortune cookies in our cafeteria, so I always collected them and put them on the back. This was like this little wallpaper thing I used to do. And then this is a ticket of the play I was in. I was a theater major in college. Fun fact. The summer of freshman year. In general, I wrote more in the summers than I did obviously in the school year because I had more time. So this was a play I directed, My First Boyfriend, and then this was the year that Up came out. And this was actually a really interesting journal. This is my little sister wrote me this beautiful letter. For some reason, this summer, I did like a blank journal. This is more of like a sketchbook that I used. And there's just kind of like random drawings. I was in my first like real relationship and I was so in love and it was such a sweet time in my life that I look back on with such love. Just like a really great summer. We did a great show that summer with a bunch of teens, local high school. Again, like a bunch of pages I didn't fill, and then I was always, of course, my goal list. Random doodles. Be spontaneous. Fall in love. Absolutely achieved. Like I said, this was like such a great first like kind of love summer, and that really launched into my first like big relationship. So this is actually the following summer. I did not journal at all my sophomore year of college. Yeah, so this was the summer I went to Bald Head Island, which is actually a really, really beautiful place in North Carolina. So this was the summer I really started meditating, and so most of these are just a log of my different guided meditations. Again, there's like always weird spaces. So at the time, my boyfriend would write down some of my meditations, and this is more like me morphing into my regular style, which is just a lot of words. Postcard from my grandfather. Again, just like little doodles here and there, but at the time I wrote Dear Spirit instead of like Dear Diary. That was just a little transition. Oh, I started doing a little bit of journal prompts here. Just like I remember different memories, when my 7-year-old self was happiest, things like that. As you can see, I was like, I did not care about like the pens. Like right now I'm so anal about like always writing in the same pen, but at that time I just kind of like wrote with whatever I had on hand. Kind of miss that. Yeah, so just a lot. Some more like love letters, and I was still with my boyfriend at that time, and it was just like, just a great summer. Yeah, so as you can see, just like straight up writing. That was a letter from my best friend at the time. I was struggling, so my parents were moving from my hometown, and that was like a big transition for me. Oh, these were names. I, at the time, was getting a parakeet and were different names. I was deciding between my goal list. So then I was starting to do CDs to rent. Oh my god, that's really cute. So this is like, I didn't really write in this that much. This was my junior year. This was kind of just like my catch-all. Like, I took this with me to class and like would just find time to write like as I could, but it's not really like, I don't know, I never really got bonded with this guy. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Okay, so this is my summer of junior year, after junior year, so going into senior year. I stopped doing the goal list on the back and decided to write my goal list on the front of my journal. And this is a moleskin, a blank moleskin. And yeah, I'm just going to read you a couple. So rock my 319, that was my senior thesis. Take pictures. I literally have the worst camera. Spend more time outside, learn how to cook one cool dish, do something really scary and hard and that's a challenge for yourself. Make love outside and totally enjoy it. Eat a loaf of bread and drink a bottle of wine in Europe. Yes, that summer I was going to Scotland with a group. Figure out what being an artist means to you. This was just such a great summer. I went actually this summer to California. I did like a clown, I guess a camp for adults, but I was training to be a clown. I started learning about theater via press, which is my theater technique that is real near and dear to my heart, using social justice kind of work and theater together. And then I went to Scotland and was in the Fringe Festival with an amazing group of actors. So yeah, so I just loved this journal. At the beginning, hold on, let me show you. I was in Florida at the beginning first, and I played with trying to maybe write long ways, and then that was weird. Oh, this is cool. So what if I cry myself to sleep every night? What if I make myself sick? What if I can't function? What if I die? So I like listed all of my fears about like leaving home, and I felt really blessed to be so in love, but also just have all of these incredible opportunities to travel that summer. Oh, that was like my sister wrote a song. I was back in Bald Head. Just like lots of poems, lots of love poems. This, like I said, like I look back on this time with just so much love. I had such a great experience. I mean, college for me was very up and down, but I had a great relationship. I had great friends. I was in an amazing community. As you can see, I still didn't quite finish. Yeah, and I didn't do and then of course, classic love letters. At the time I had a boyfriend too, and I still wrote him letters that I probably read at some point, but I still kept them. And I don't know, I'm just a love letter kind of girl. That's how I express myself. So these moleskins came in a pack of 3, and I kind of wish I could find them again. They're like this like recycled kind of cardboard feel. And this actually isn't so much my journal. I guess, well, it's more of like a place of notes. Like I said, I took 3 different intensives that summer, and the whole time I took really intense notes about the experience and what I learned every day. Yeah, this was a really, I mean, this summer was pivotal in my education as a theater artist and as an artist in general. I was able to just learn so much about myself, and I tried to really capture down like the activities that we did, because I was preparing for a senior thesis the following year, and this was part of my scholarship. And I just had such an amazing experience that summer. Senior year. This is probably my favorite journal, period. I don't know where I got it. I think I could probably make it again. Oh, I need to tie that. So it's basically fabric on the outside, and I'm pretty sure it's glued to just like cardboard with fabric on the inside. And then it's just a small little book that has holes in it, and then the twine comes through. So I'm pretty sure I could make this. But I love this journal. I never finished it. Like I said, my senior year, like to actually write in college was near impossible for me. We all did like crazy hour days. Like I said, I was a theater major, so I was in rehearsal every night till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And it was really hard for me to find time to write, but this year was a big year for me. Like I said, I did my senior thesis, which was really, really emotional for me. I was using theater to study fraternity culture and sorority culture, as well as binge drinking and sexual assault. So I went through a lot. I was in like intense therapy because I was experiencing a lot of pain and suffering, and from my fellow students, I was learning so much about our community, and at the same time I was going through, I was changing, and my relationship with my first love was changing, and I was really struggling. He was a year older and graduated, finished this thesis now. Yeah, this was really my motivation. And I was falling in love with someone else, and it was a really hard year for me emotionally. So I really used this journal as like, a place to capture my meditations, but also a place of poetry and just like working out what I was going through. I love these dark pages. Like, oh, I love how this feels. I like cannot find anything like this and not finish it. But again, of course, more letters. So my boyfriend at the time was in Korea, and every day I wrote him a love letter, and I sent it over there in packages. And so I didn't journal as much as I would have liked, but I obviously found time to write letters, and I wish I could get those back. I wrote, I think, over 300 letters, so really special year. But this is one of my favorite journals. This captures a transition in my personality and in my values, and it's just a really special one. And then these two, so Double Take Project is my senior thesis. These two I was journaling at as well my senior year. I was writing these. But again, this is more of like an education-based journal. So as I was interviewing fellow students, staff, I was teaching workshops, I was building a one-woman show, I would write everything down. So my experience, like how I felt every day, but also different meeting notes, different notes on different books I was reading. Let's see. These Post-its are, I guess, like little bits of things that I wanted to look back on and reference in my thesis. I wrote a 500-page thesis about this experience of trying to talk about binge drinking and sexual assault on college campuses. It was pivotal for me. It really changed my path. I went to school as an actress, and I left an activist. And that's still the path I'm pursuing now. So I journaled. I ended up turning these journal entries into a one-woman production, mixing in interviews as well from my fellow classmates and my own experience. So this was just... Ooh, what is this page? Ooh, look at that! Fly, sparrow, free, no fear. Tina, brave, artist. That's beautiful. I don't remember making this. I'm really proud of this project. I'm really proud of just myself for this. These books are beautiful too. They're like knockoff Moleskines. Probably got them at the time at Walmart. 'Cause this is our library, the top of our library, and I put this eye in the clock tower. And I guess my whole point, I guess, was to take a second look at the social culture of our school. And these two journals, this year, I should say, really changed my direction. I always thought I would go to Broadway or, try to pursue theater and acting. And it was after this project that I learned that theater and the arts can do so much more than entertainment. And they can really be a source of healing and activism. This was the pinnacle for me, and I still feel like I'm struggling to keep up with this year, but this was a magical year for me, and I moved around afterwards in search of using art for healing, using art for social change, and since then my life has not been the same. Journals are amazing and they're a great way of looking back. I never thought that I would ever share them with anybody else except for maybe my future children one day. But they're pretty special to me, and if you're looking to journal, I'll just over. I definitely recommend starting one. They're really fun. They're really fun. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Tina with Overall Adventures. I'll be back to you soon. If you have any other ideas or things you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. Bye. Peace. Mwah.